And Mr. Maurer, should the Secretary of State be promoting increases in voter registration, promoting voter participation?
I think this goes back to the question about what the difference between election integrity and voter trust or voter confidence. And we can point to an executive office that is dominated by one party but has exceptional members from the other. First, that excludes third parties like the Libertarians, Greens, Independents, Communist Party of America, on down the line. And this is where we as Hoosiers and Americans feel particularly disenfranchised, because when we want to have single party campaigns or issues like the new Forward Party that's really focused, it seems to be on kind of anti-corruption by Andrew Yang, those voices get stifled in a straight two-party, sort of, let alone a one-party platform. We could have a different understanding of what the framers and founders of our nation intended. But my view of things is that they preferred to not have parties for many of the reasons that we experience today. So we can have an illusion of a balanced two-party system, but in reality, it's dominated by one party, and offices continuously churn out results that somehow magically favor that one party. And so that's the difference between election integrity and the illusion of voter confidence. And that's where my campaign is focused on bringing those two into harmony by just opening it up and showing what really is, so that way we can have balance. So to now answer your actual question, which was about how do we engage voters, I would agree that it has to be very equal. We have an entire precedence of separate but equal is not equal. And so selectively going after certain populations or neighborhoods or communities or districts to try to increase voter registration and voting turnout in those areas, that can naturally, it naturally has a bias, no matter how you slice it. So I think if we take the concept that justice is blind, that we blindly offer access to all. So we have a website, right? IndianaVoters.com. You can get registered on there in a couple minutes. That's blind. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what minority, what party you are. It's blind to who you are, but it's a portal there. It's a resource for you to get registered, get access, find out who's on your ballot, find out when and where to vote. That is even across. And those are the types of blind solutions that I look forward to and to augment and to champion to make sure that access is equal for all. Analogously, we require ID, and this might go back to the ID question that we could have later, but if you drive your car on your private property, you don't need any kind of driver's license. Your 3-year-old could technically drive legally. It's your property, do as you like. But as soon as your tires touch public road, you're now part of our social pact, our social compact, that have to abide by our society's rules. And that means you have to be a credentialed, licensed driver, meeting certain obligations, and you have to be ready to present and show that ID. So does the DOT sit around wringing its hands and worrying, well, are certain people don't have access to roads? And should we be worried about checking their IDs or engaging them differently? No, it's a pretty even approach of what are the needs and how do we serve all these communities evenly.